In the UAE, there is a total of 186,000 coronavirus cases and about 1,000 new daily cases as of December 15, 2020 at 8:06 p.m. The total number of recoveries is 164,000 and deaths is 618. Due to the current situation of coronavirus, the number of deliveries are increasing. More than 70,000 meals were delivered in residents of buildings in Abu Dhabi who were in strict isolation. In 1,600 residents, they eat their 3 meals from deliveries. Increase in delivery causes environmental issues, especially there is an increase in the use of plastic, which takes a long time to decompose. Also, using plastic contributes to global warming and climate change since almost all plastics are produced from fossil fuels. In the UAE, waste from the waste bins are generally taken to landfills and harms the environment. Unless people visit a recycling center or call the green truck, the recyclable waste items end up in the landfill. According to the World Future Energy Summit, which took place in 2019 in Abu Dhabi, the UAE has a waste generation ratio of between 1.9 to 2.5 kilograms per person per day, with around 77% of the waste ending up in landfill sites. In comparison, Europeans produce about 1.2 kilograms of waste every day. In the first quarter of the year 2017 at Dubai, a total amount of 6.4 million metric tons of non-hazardous waste was treated, including domestic, horticulture, construction, and demolition. Of the domestic waste, 681,000 tons ended up in landfills, while 153,000 tons went for recycling. Compared to the massive amount of waste produced, 81% of the domestic waste are sent to landfill and only 19% are recycled. Then, where do the recyclables go when they're recycled? Collected recyclables are brought to a recycling center and sorted. For example, the Verda Recycling Center says that they design bespoke recycling facilities and install reverse machines for old cans and bottles. In addition, they turn trash into things that can be used again, such as aluminum that can be used to build other things from cars to chairs. They also deployed smart recycling centers, which use solar panels and sensors to make sure that the right kind of waste is being deposited. This helps them to maximize what they can do without even electricity. Averda has their own transformers that turn trash into commodities, but manufacturers can also come to recycling centers to buy the sorted recycled goods.
빌라의 분리수거는 어떻게 되는지 아시나요?
제가 지금 살고 있는 곳은 분리수거를 하지 않습니다. 그런데 3년 전부터인가 2년 전부터 그 스프링스에는 시범적으로 플라스틱류를 따로 분리수거를 해왔어요. 그래서 노란색 분리수거통을 따로 뒀었거든요. 네. 그거 외에는 다 모두 그 일반 쓰레기통에 같이 버립니다. 하지만 여기 지금 세레나라고 하는 빌라 단지는 분리수거를 하지 않습니다.
MR privately owns springs. Companies gain permits from MR so that they may transport the trash out of springs. There are teams assigned to remove the trash from the security gate.
We have sent a survey throughout students and parents to collect data about recycling in residence. Although 85.7% were aware of the importance of recycling, only 50% were actually recycling in their apartment or villa. Of those who recycled their waste, most were recycling through the existing recycling bins in their apartment or community. Most people were not recycling because they don't have a recycling system near them. Also, 85.7% of the whole participants responded that they did not know how their apartment or villa disposes waste.
안녕하세요, 이세현 학생.
네, 안녕하세요.
네, 짧은 자기소개를 부탁드립니다.
저는 두바이에서 공부를 하고 있는 이세연 학생이라고 합니다.
가장 마지막으로 한국을 방문한 지가 언제인가요?
2020년 6월쯤 될 겁니다.
한국의 분리수거와 두바이의 분리수거의 차이점을 말해 주십시오.
네, 제 경험으로서는 한국 같은 경우는 본인이 일단은 플라스틱류나 종이류나 이런 걸 다 정리를 해서 나중에 모으는 걸로 아는데 두바이 같은 경우는 그런 거 분리하지 않고 따로 모든 그 재활용 쓰레기를 모아서 회사가 정리해 주는 걸로 알고 있습니다.
We will now take a closer look into how other countries recycle in their residential communities. To begin with, the recycling rate in the UAE was 28.4% in 2017. In most residential areas, you can find recycling bins, and the UAE has recently introduced a washment service, which take unused plastics and papers from people's homes and recycle them as well. However, there is still room for improvement for UAE's residential recycling system. Other countries such as Finland have relatively lower recycling rates. Finland has a 27% recycling rate, which is lower than the EU average. In Finland, homes produce about 340 kilograms of household waste per person annually, so they have implemented the National Waste Plan, which plans to make more than half of household waste to be recycled by 2016. Apartments in Finland have a recycling system of paper, organic waste, cardboard, and cartons, and supermarkets and shopping centers have collection points of metals and glasses. South Korea has a 54% recycling rate, which is in the top 5 worldwide in 2018. They have a waste management system where household food waste, recyclables, non-recyclables, and large objects are disposed of separately. Paper, glass, steel, fabrics, and plastics are recycled separately into specific communal bins. The South Korean government is planning to collect about 100,000 tons of plastic bottles per year by 2022. We researched different residential communities in Dubai such as the Greens, Dubai Marina, and the Springs, and they all had different recycling centers. In the Dubai Marina area, residents could go to the Dubai Marina Promenade, which had recycling bins for plastic, glass, and paper. Similarly in the Greens village shops had bins for recycling plastic, glass, papers, and cans. However, it was difficult to find recycling bins to be placed in each apartment complex in the Greens. People can contribute to recycling in the UAE by recycling correctly, as well as participating in the UAE's recycling actions. The correct way to recycle, as encouraged by the government, is to first separate the waste based on their material, and then you should find a recycling bin near your surroundings and throw it away. You must also make sure to wash and squash the materials to ensure less contamination during the process of recycling. HomeCycle is a free collection service that you sign up to online, and they give you points according to the amounts of materials that you recycled, and these points can be used on donations or on prizes later. There is also Metanet Recycling, which takes all sorts of waste from broken lamps, batteries, electrical equipment, and fabrics from your home to be recycled.
The UAE's per capita waste generation is among the world's highest, the majority which ends up in landfills. These pressures have motivated the government to take effective policy actions and to build scenarios and coordinated strategies to reduce any significant negative environmental impact and to protect biodiversity and ecosystem. Improper waste management can cause many problems such as soil contamination, water contamination, extreme weather caused by climate change, air contamination, and harm towards animals and marine life, and even human damage. Proper recycling will help reduce these issues by reducing the amounts of waste sent to landfills and incinerators, conserving natural resources, reducing the need to collect new raw materials, and saving energy.
Currently, the UAE's residents use 450 plastic bottles in a year, and the UAE has the 4th largest level of bottled water consumption in the world. 11 billion plastic bags are used annually, and in landfills, these plastic materials emit harmful greenhouse gases, and estimates suggest that 50% of the camels that die every year in the UAE die from ingesting these gases. Recycling is no longer optional but necessary, and there are many reasons for why the UAE should participate in waste separation, but most importantly, it will create a sustainable future for this country.